Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Summer Meyers. I'm a homeschool mom of 5 kids. On this channel, we talk all things homeschool, including books, lots and lots of books. And today is a special day because we are collabing with Rachel over in 7 and All. Rachel reached out and asked if I'd be willing to share some of our favorite Christmas time books because, you know, it's that time of year when you're trying to think about how you're going to do celebrating the season. And I thought that was a great idea to get those books out. Rachel is a super sharp, smart mom and talks all things about homeschool, talks about motherhood. She talks about mostly a lot about preschool stuff because she is working with her little preschooler boys. She also has a curriculum called Purely Preschool. I'm sure that you've heard of it, as well as some great Christmas related materials. So be sure to check out her channel as well as the playlist linked down below. Let's talk books. I have a huge pile of books, guys. I didn't limit them, and now I'm looking at them all and I'm like, this video will be way too long if I share all of them. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna separate these out into books that are seasonal, winter themed, and then the last half of the video will be about Christmas books that are more focused on the reason for Christmas, which is Christ-centered. So I'll have timestamps linked down below if you wanna skip ahead or if you don't wanna mess around. So look and check that out. So this book we've actually had for many years. This is called A Snowy Day by Ezra Keats. One of my favorite winter themed books. In fact, the post office had stamps with the snowy day. Those are the stamps I used because the illustrations on this are beautiful and special and they just remind me of childhood. It's about a little boy who's enjoying the winter months and he's going out and enjoying snow and just exploring it on his own. This is something fun and easy for me to read to my little toddlers, but my big kids still love it and they still remember it and have fond memories of this book. So it is an easy read and it's captures the imagination of childhood. This is a childhood favorite of mine, Tacky the Penguin. I don't know if you guys know about Tacky the Penguin. There's actually a series, I think. But this is a huge favorite read aloud for my preschoolers and for my older kids as well. They love doing the voices. This actually has nothing to do with Christmas, but it does take place in Antarctica with penguins and snow, so I count it. It's winter themed. It's about a fun little penguin who it doesn't fit in and the other little penguins are so perfect and they just lead perfect lives. But he is comfortable with himself and it's just a fun, hilarious story and it's so much fun to read out loud. All right, everything that Jan Brett has written is just fantastic. Fantastic. And the illustrations are unbelievable. I love The Trouble with Trolls. This was something I grew up as a child. It's a little bit older. I don't think little kids would be able to sit and still and read it. It's more for the bigger kids, but you know what? Big kids need to be read aloud too, even picture books. I love this story of the dog and how she has to go and rescue him several times. Not only that, take a peek at the bottom illustration half of the book. There's a special pet waiting for the trolls back home. And it's just so clever, the way it's illustrated and the way it is written. Definitely worth checking out. Another Jan Brett, I think this one is probably more familiar for our younger age kids. It's The Mitten. And so there's a little boy who has lost his mitten like, I don't know, the millions of children out in the world who lose their mitten in the snow. And all these animals find it and try to climb inside it. It's just so cute. And I love how well illustrated it is. I love all the different animals and how they're climbing in and trying to get cozy and warm. It's just one of those special books that you read in the winter time to snuggle in. This is called The 3 French Hens by Margie Palatini. Margie Palatini also wrote Moustache, if you're familiar with that book. The 3 French Hens is super, super cute. They come and they visit this fox who is starving and hungry and he thinks, oh, I've got a new tasty snack. And instead they put on a fantastic French Christmas spirit for him. And it's just super clever and fun and heartwarming and it just gets you in the mood. And also just talking about the different Christmas carols. So I know Stregna isn't about Christmas or snow or anything like that, but she's kind of like the cozy Italian grandma that we all wish we had, who makes noodles and has magical recipes and everybody's a little nervous around her and she knows what's what and she's super kind and generous. And I think that invokes all Christmas spirit when you have your grandma come and visit you. So Stregna is one of our favorites. We love taking this out around the winter time when we want to cozy in and snuggle. seasonal. And I keep it with my other Christmas books. So it's just become sort of our regular December rotation. Another one of Tomie de Paola, and I'm so sorry if I'm not saying it correctly. It's The Clown of God. So this is one of those books that I read and I get teary-eyed because I'm just that person. I can't help it. I can't help it. It's about a clown who has these fantastic skills of making people laugh and being happy. And he gets older and older, and then his skills fall apart. He's not able to throw the balls as easily or as quickly as he did in his youth. And towards the end, he goes and he does it for God. And I love the message of it. I love how it comes full circle and how he dedicates his skills and talents to the Lord. And I think that's a message that is powerful in and of itself. All right, I could not find my copy of Herschel and the Hanukkah Goblins, but I wanted to mention it here. If you need a good Hanukkah book that it's a little spooky and it's kind of like that Christmas Carol kind of feel where there's a little bit of ghosts and goblins involved. And it talks about the different candles and just the meaning of them. And this one is fun to get out for my kids, and it's kind of fun to talk about the dreidel and the different meanings behind Hanukkah. So if you're looking to incorporate some books like that, I would definitely recommend checking out Herschel and the Hanukkah Goblins. Who is coming to our house? So this is a book that we got from many, many years ago from a beloved preschool teacher who gave it to one of my kids. And it's about these stable animals who are feeling this need to prepare for the stable, and they have no idea and they don't know who is coming, but they are preparing for it. And who ends up coming? It's Jesus and Joseph and Mary. And I love how the rhythm, I love the beat. This is a great preschooler book. It's also just a fun read aloud to do. All right, You Are Special by Max Lucado. I love Max Lucado. I just love him. I love him so much. This is not a particular Christmas book, but it is talking about the love of God for all of us, despite our imperfections. And I like bringing this out around Christmas time because I like my children to know that they are special to their one God, that Jesus is aware of them and aware of their struggles. And that is why we celebrate his birth and also why we celebrate his resurrection at Easter time. So You Are Special is a book that we get out a couple of times during the year, but especially at Christmas time, because I want them to know that God gave us the ultimate gift, which is his son, and that the reason for that is because they are special. It is a beautiful, beautiful book. And it almost makes me cry every single time, but I think I've read it often enough that I can just conquer it. But I've got pregnancy hormone feelings, so maybe not. This is one of those books that just warms my heart and warms my children's souls, and that's why I love reading it to them this time of year. I always knew it was Christmas time when my mom got the Crippled lamb book out, and she'd set it out for us, and usually around Christmas Eve or maybe a few days before, we would read this together and we would talk about it and talk about the lamb and why sometimes we have difficulties and trials in our life, and we can rail against God and be like, why am I dealing with this? But I think the main message here is that God is aware of us despite all of the troubles and hardships that we are facing here on earth. He is aware of us, and he is coming. He is coming to heal your wounded soul. And for that reason, I still bring this book out. I still bring this out for my kids because I want them to know and understand that message. Anyway, it is a beautiful book. It is a little bit long. It's not quite as easy to read for little preschoolers. This is definitely for your older elementary school kids, but it is a powerful, powerful story. So do you remember this is the house that Jack built? And this is the wife, and this is the what, and it goes through that bit rhythm. This is the star. So this is a book by Joyce Dunbar, and it goes through and just mentions all of the symbols of Christ's birth and what we look for in the scriptures and what they meant. And it does it in that rhythm. And my preschoolers love this. My early elementary school kids love it. But the pictures are gorgeous. It has special meaning and power to it. So this is a fun read aloud. This is also just fun to leave out during the Christmas season. So that is it for me today. Those are my favorite Christmas books that I love to get out during the Christmas season. So if you liked this video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe down below. Also, please take a moment to check out Rachel's channel as well as the playlist listing all of the other great Christmas books out there. I am certainly going to be going and checking out them because I love to read little Christmas books. So this is going to be fantastic. I'm super excited to see what everybody put out. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a wonderful fall, and I will see you next week. Take care, everybody. Bye.